If you guys didn't get over to the RC Underground Radio to check out what we're going to talk about tonight, make sure you do. Or you do next week so you know what we're talking about before we get here. You can get your stuff together, planned, figure it out, whatever. Okay? Make sure you do that. And then you have an idea what we're going to talk about tonight. All right? Tire turmoil. We're not going to talk tires this week. I don't think Matt's on here. I haven't seen him yet. Matt Riker. He's usually the one who wants to talk tires. I think we're going to skip tires this week. We're going to give everybody a break from tire talk because, frankly, we're tired of it. We're tired of tires. So we're going to skip it this week. We're going to run into another, the other segment we do, and it's a rules comparison segment, which I did the same one last week. And the reason I'm going to redo it is we had so much technical problems last week. I wanted to just make sure everybody's seen this. And here was a question that came up a couple weeks ago. It was about being able to race, quote unquote, down. Okay. So they had a question that guys were running mod and turning around and running buggy street stock at the same time. So I went through the races, and there's what, 2, 4, 6, 8 races that I looked at, 9 races, something like that, that I looked at, and these are the guys that raced down. No problem, Jeff. I agree, buddy. I was over it too, so we didn't do it. So I checked Farmer City BB Mods and myself. Now myself is a little skewed, as I said last week, because guys that raced here were just trying to build a class. Now some of these guys race both, and I don't have a problem with it. Jason ended up watching the show last week after the show, and he came back and said there wasn't a problem when we didn't have mods here. Well, we still don't have a problem here at Kempton Speedway. You run what you want to run. I'm not telling you what to run. Okay. And if a guy complains about it and he comes to me to complain, I'm going to ask him, when was he out on a Friday night to get himself better? I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm just saying, if you're not better, then you need to work on it, right? That'll get you up there with those other guys. So that's how I look at it. That's how we're going to do it. A lot of my guys that run bigger, better classes than the slash street stock run the slash street stock, and they really enjoy it. Slash, as of right now, and not everybody's on the list yet, but as of right now, we have 21 slash street stocks racing for a donated pot of $1,100. If you have a slash street stock in the closet with a BL2, 13.5, or a 12 turn in it, you better bring it out here and try to get some money. If it's your third class you're racing, you pay $15, you got a chance of winning that. We pay the top 6. If you get in the A main, you're getting paid back at least your entry fee. Okay? So make sure you guys with slash street stocks get out and get that done. That's where it's at. But anyway, so you can see here on the graph, guys, there's not a lot of guys that race down. There's quote unquote down. There's 5 in one race, there's 3 in another, 2 in another, and they didn't finish that well. So there's only a couple winners there and a couple, top 10s, top 5s. So I don't think it's as big of a problem as a lot of people want to think it is. And I'm not bagging on the guy that put the post out. Don't get me that wrong there. I understand your concern, but just go, My wife says maybe you will or maybe you won't just suck. Junior says, I'm not very, yeah, right. Come on with it, Junior. You got a slash street stock. Let's go. You're going to win. I'm going to guess first place is going to be no less than probably $500 or $600. Are you going to win that at the Derby? Changing my chair tonight, guys. We'll see how this works. So anyway, yeah, that's where we're at. So make sure you guys, if you're out there doing it, you're doing it. If you're not, man, it's a great opportunity to make some money and enjoy the racing like everybody does, and have a good week. Okay. Anybody got anything for me yet? Yep, you suck. Reread yours. Oh, did I not say that? What, I didn't reread it. I didn't read it right. Maybe you will, or maybe you. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe you will, or maybe you just suck. That's okay. You're right, Mama. Maybe that's another way to look at it. I was looking at it more positive. But, oh, well, that's a pretty good payout, Junior. I was looking at the more positive side where he says maybe maybe you will or won't suck, but she says you will suck probably. So, yeah, man, racing down is not a problem for me, guys. I don't think that's a problem for any track. I really think it's a good thing to keep that competition there and to keep the number of racers available. The problem runs into is we run out of racers. Yeah. Well, don't suck at the Derby either. All right. How's that sound? Um, but yeah, so that's where we're at. I think it's going to be a good deal. So if you got a slash, when I run social, I have to run my 13.5 against open motors and had 10 cars. That's 7 laps and that fourth. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, a lot of times it's not just to get about the motor package or how much speed you have. It's about getting down, right? It's about getting around the track. That's a big part of it. Sometimes that's the biggest part of it. So let's jump into question of the week here real quick. And it kind of goes into that. And you guys that have been around here a little while, you're going to know the name that's on this question just because he's in the comments all the time. And I was hoping he'd jump in here real quick, but he ain't. It's Dan. Let's talk about this real quick. Do you think driver's skill or setup has a bigger impact on winning the race, and why? Let's put it in the comments real quick about that. What do you guys think? I'm going to give you a second. I'm going to go grab something and I'll be right back. You guys put it in the comments. What do you think is more important, driver skill or car setup? So Jeb Johnson says skill. I think car setup can be the best. Car setup, you can be the best driver. Yet if you're like crap, you. So yeah. So here's my point to it. We got a guy that comes out here a lot, and he can drive. He can drive in my opinion, he can drive anything. And he doesn't touch his car Monday through Friday, except for this week for some reason. He's getting a couple cars ready for the fall brawl. Kind of odd. But anyway, normally he doesn't ever touch his car. Normally, he wrenches on it at his pit table. And normally he's fast and can get around. Because he can drive almost anything. Like, I'm like, hey man, what are you doing? What's your setup? And he's like, I don't know, I'm just driving. And if it's loose, I'm driving it better. And if it's, if I got to push, I got to push. I got to figure that out. But the reality of it is that's the way he drives. And he's not bad. So yeah, I mean, I think that's where it is. I think skill's 100% bigger point. Jeff says skill. Matt says skill. Ben Maxon says driver. The fastest car doesn't always win. That's true. Weasel says skill more than setup, but both are important to do as well. Agreed. Weasel, you've raced with the guy I'm talking about a lot. And you actually pitted with him at BB Mods this year. So, but there's a lot of guys that's not important to them. I mean, they just don't. They can drive it. They can wheel it a little bit, and if they can wheel it, they're ready to rip. I think that skill, laps and time is probably as big of a thing as you can get. I think the guys that get caught up in the rabbit hole of setup, continuously worrying about setup, and if my setup's not perfect and I can't pin it to win it, or I have to change my line a little bit, I think those guys run into more and more problems. So I really think skill, aka laps on the track, is the biggest deal. That's our biggest problem. So that's pretty good. I mean, I think that's kind of where I thought that would go. I think setup is good, but Sean says luck. Well, that's hey, he got the name Cheetah for a reason, not cheater, cheetah. Not because he's fast. Sean says luck, and I agree with that 100%. Where is it tonight? I don't know. I don't know where it's at. A great setup, Jake Howard says. I knew that was coming. Jake Howard says a great setup can make a medium driver be in the hunt, but a great driver can make a bad setup win. Agreed? Yeah, I think a good setup can actually disguise how good of a driver you really are, right? What are you laughing about, Scuba? uh, Jason said, I would rather be just okay on both skill and setup versus great at one or the other. That's a very interesting situation. I mean, I can see the balance of that. That's probably not horrible. You know what I mean? I think skill is just as easy to learn as setup, if not easier. But just because you just put laps in my opinion, your skill level is going to go up quite a bit. Rick says you got to have skill to avoid all the wrecks. Well, or luck. Sean might have been right with the luck thing. My wife says tech. Yep, we were talking tech today. Fall brawl tech. So yeah, so good comments, guys. That's what we need. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. This podcast is in my opinion, but as I put in the title, guys, your opinion matters to me, and I think it matters to the whole group of people that listen to this, whoever they might be. I think people need to hear what the racers and owners and community have to say, and that's why we do what we do. So make sure you put yours in there. So question of the week is done. Let's get on down. We're getting down with this deal tonight. We are going to get into topic of the week. I think this one's going to get interesting, and I hope track owners are listening. I think this is probably one of the ones that we really need to think about. Oh, the IT department. The IT department is sleeping under the chair after me and him got in an argument today. I don't know where the other one is. It's probably sleeping somewhere else. So topic of the week, guys, here it is. Points versus each day its own day. Do points motivate people to come back and race? Do they impact the attendance? Or do racers, or do they not care? Either way. Oh, what's up, Jeremy Morris? Did you get a text message to make sure and jump on here or what? Yeah. If you wasn't on here a minute ago, you had to go back and listen because we were talking about some guy. Anyway, named Cheetah. All right. What do you guys think? Here's my opinion to it. I did points this year. Little background. I did points this year for the Saturday races only. And you guys can tell me, the guys that have been back and back and back, are you coming back for the championship? Weasel says a good driver has patience to know when to go and when to hold back. Agreed. I think that's very true also. So we did points this year for the Saturday races only. I was not doing it for Fridays, Freedom Fridays. I didn't want to try to get guys. There's guys that just can't make it every Friday, but they might be able to make it here and there. So we did Saturday only points races. So with that being said, it was good. I think we had a really good turnout. Mountain Dew, strawberry crush, and then Mountain Dew, and I got a Dr. Pepper too. No Sprite, Scuba. No, your favorite. Scuba's switching all of his cars to Sprite cars. So we did that to race to see what everybody wanted. I asked at the beginning of the season, and everybody said we had to mix points, no points, mix, no points. And I said, okay, we'll just figure it out. And that's what I did. If you don't want to be in the points situation, don't worry about it. You know, just don't get in the points, or don't worry about the points. So I don't know if it motivates guys to come back or not. We've had good turnouts. We've had better turnouts every time, but I don't think that's because of the points. I don't know, but maybe it is. You guys can tell me. There's quite a few guys that have been on here. Ben's in the points hunt. Jason's in the points hunt. Scuba and Jeremy, they're going to be here. They're Kempton guys. The IT department's moving around back there. but that's how it is. You know what I mean? So I wonder how that motivates guys to race or not. Brad, I think he's doing point series on Friday Night Lights. I don't know if he's counting points or not. I don't remember how he did that, but I think that's a points deal. Then I like no points too. Rick Taylor says I'm a no points racer. I just want to show up and race. Show up and race and have fun. Van Ice says I'm not try not to race for points. I try to just win A-mains and points take care of themselves. Then yeah, I think if you, no matter how you look at it, if you take every race as its own race, and you decide you want to go back, you go back. I've also heard a lot of guys say, "Oh man, I don't want to race this race because it's a points race, and I don't want to hurt somebody else in points." Well, who cares? You can race anywhere you want. If a guy's worried about that, he just got to beat you too. And if he's the best, quote unquote, best in points, he should be able to beat you, you know? Tommy says, I'm not into points. I just race and see what happens. I ran for points at Limestone for a couple seasons and it becomes stressful to be there every week. I agree 100%, Tommy. I think that's why we only do one a month. And that's how I did that. I don't know if I will next year. We're going to talk about it in the off season and see. Ryan says, I think track should do points to reward their weekly drivers. I've seen a lot of people smiling, carrying those trophies home. Yeah. There'll be some smiling guys out here next week, guys. There's 6 big trophies getting ready to go out for guys. And a whole bunch of small ones. 33 small ones and 6 big ones. Oh, and 6 or 11 more TQs. So, what's up, JJ? Getting that track done? So yeah, I think that's a very touchy situation. You know what I mean? But I think everybody should race their own deal, you know. And if you're a racer that's in the lead in points, and Billy Bob comes in and races one race, and he knocks you down in points, then he knocks you down in points. That's part of the game. It's a points series. It's not a me only series, right? You have to fight that guy just like you do everybody else. The Friday's kind of tough for me because the guys getting there. Your car count's a little lower. That's my only thought on points if you really want to get it going. It is cool to look back at points and say, hey, there was 40 different drivers in this class. They might have only showed up once or twice, but at least it helps you track how many drivers per class per race, which is pretty cool too, and who's new and who's been around and what have you. So I think points are not a bad thing. But you have to do them right. I didn't do all the math, but I did on a couple of them. I'll put a post out about that this week, about points. Try to let everybody stay on top of it and think about it for a week before the big race. Points racing has a tendency to get a little hectic, especially at the end of the year where they start racing crazy because they need that 1 point. Well, that is on the race director, track owner. Again, respect back to the track. And track owners just have to put their foot down. They have to say, hey, here it is, guys. I'm not dealing with that, and you need to get better. Yeah, look at that. That's gonna be a good one. I think Jason, you and Jeremy are right together on buggy street stock. I think that's gonna be a really good battle. Whoever is winner or pretty close there, I think is gonna win that deal. But only one that's locked up that I think the only one locked up is Mini Mod. Mini Mod, Jeremy has it locked up. But that class is a fun class anyway, so that's gonna be good. But I don't know, you know what I mean? So it sounds like it's kind of a mixed bag again, right? I mean, a lot of guys say they don't want to race for points. But at the end of the year, I mean, wouldn't you want to take home a 5 foot or 6 foot tall trophy, something like that? And you better bring a truck. If you're in the points hunt, you better bring a truck. Well, get it built then. What have you been waiting on? I've been building trophies. I built 2 cars and trophies this week, Van Ice. Where you been? 2 more mini mods going out. They're built right behind me there. You guys see me through the week live. That's what I was doing. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at with that. Just seeing what everybody thinks. I think it's a good thing. But you have to be careful how many you do, or you do a short point series. Oh yeah, I forgot. Been doing, I think shorter the points series, the better. I don't think a guy that's going to run 30 events in a series is going to make it. You know what I mean? Like, or even 10 or 15 races in a season to get points is a lot. And I really think track owners try to do it to bring people back. So I don't know. Track points racing is way more fun than stress of traveling points series. Okay, let's talk about that real quick. Now that Ryan said something about it, and I was getting ready to, I was thinking about it earlier and didn't think about it now. So whichever guy pays me the most, all right. Nice. Weasel's looking to get paid out one way or another. I like that, Weasel. Let's talk about that real quick. So everybody knows the Elite Series is coming to an end for the season. It's not the first season this thing's been down. This is really the first season I followed it a lot. What does everybody think about that? Does the traveling points deal, whether you're the distance that they ran it, or you're the distance if you were to do like the Hell Tour, where they do 3 races in 3 days, or if you did 5 races in 2 months or 3 months, is that something that is wanted? Do guys want to do that? Do they want to travel and do points? Do they just want to travel and race for the day? The problem with race for the day, I don't know. The problem with traveling sometimes is guys go here and they don't go there. And whether that's for the track or the promoters or whatever, you know what I mean? I've heard it from quite a few people complaining that everybody went to Billy Bob's and didn't go to fucking Johnny's. And then why did Johnny get left out and all the other tracks did okay? I think there's a way to fix that. And I think what it is the money at the track. I honestly think that's what guys are looking at. It sounds bad, but I don't think that's a racer. I want to say this. I don't think that is a racer mentality. I don't think, or whatever. I don't know. I think that's a track owner just saying, I think the stress and drama of last year's points season is one reason PT's schedule is the way it is this year. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I don't know, but that points are tough, man. It does become stressful. It does become a lot. It does become, there, but I just think shorter's better. I don't think if you only had 5 races that were your points races and guys could get there for 5 weeks over 3 months, or 6 races, 2 a month, whether you're your track or if you're a traveler. And traveling, I'm not saying traveling like, not bagging on Elite at all, but I'm not traveling that far. I'm talking, we have 6 locations or 3 locations we could double up in this area that we could make something happen. And really be able to get tracks and racers to be able to go to each one, and help each track promote. No different than the GLS series, or the Indiana Michigan was not quite that way, but there's only 2 races. But the GLSS did a really good job of a traveling series this year. So I don't know, you just have to have enough guys committed to travel. And I don't think it has to be real, real far to be able to make it happen. So, but I think tracks need to do that to help each other. They need to work together. Now, if a track has a schedule set and you go to them and say, hey, we want to do a series on top of your track schedule, I won't do that either. That seems like you're behind the eight ball there. You know what I mean? Like, my season's set and you want me to change something to do this series, I'm not game for that. But I think it can happen. Now, if you hold points of those or not, I don't know. I don't know if that's where you're at for the points deal or not. But I mean, I have all kinds of ideas of what to do. We just need to get enough track owners that are close enough. And I'm talking 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I could see from here, we put it out a while back, how many tracks are within the area, and there's a lot. So I don't think that's a big deal to get enough tracks. Whether you get us, Brad, Farmer City, Jacksonville, Cedar, get into Indiana. You could do Raw. You could do 5-star. Unfortunately, everybody's seen backyards done. Planning outdoor travel is tougher because normally we don't buy hotels till the last minute because of the weather. That bumps up the cost some. Yeah, I agree, Ryan. And I think if you were 2.5 hours, 3 hours at the most away, I think most people would drive. It's tough late at night. I understand that, but like the Hell Tour, I think everybody or a lot of guys drive back. But yeah, I agree. That's all part of it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It'd have to be worked out amongst tracks, but you know, do you help? I don't know. How do you help curb that? What if like 2 months of the summer, 3 tracks had a mini point series, 9 weeks, 9-week race series, 3 tracks? I mean, yeah, that wouldn't be bad. I mean, that honestly, that'd be pretty good. I would like to do if we did, if you did 3 tracks, you would do 2 a month is how I would do it. More than 3 tracks, Scooby, you thinking? Is that what you're saying there? In the winter point series are doable. In the summer, it's a lot harder to make all the races when there's so many tracks running big races. Yeah. Yep. I agree, Weasel. But here's what you do. If you split them where you only do 2 a month, you're going to have 2. Yeah. So you're thinking 4 or 5 tracks is what Scuba's thinking. Where we don't have to go back on everybody all the time. Yeah, I don't see it that's what I was thinking. I mean, something where it's close, but where we don't have to drive so far, you know? I mean, you race a day but so my point is if we did 2 races a month, you'd still have 2 races, 2 weekends a month to go race somewhere else if you wanted to. Right? That wouldn't be an interfering. And honestly, like, we race one big one a month, and a lot of the local guys are coming here. They're going to Brad's at the end of the month at BB Mods, or they're going to Farmer. You could honestly use one of your big races as that race. I've talked to a track owner about that too. Say the Fall Brawl is a points race for this series. I don't know. Then you don't have to add dates or figure that out. But I don't know. I think if we travel, it's got to be a traveling series that is close to do a series. That's all I can think of anyway. I know you can drop, say you race five tracks and you drop one. Or guys can't make it to one, and they're not going to race it because they can't race the series because they can't win because of that. Weasel says, all comes back to tracks making schedules together, not scheduling over top of each other. 100%, Weasel. 100%. And that is a huge thing. That is a huge deal. Using the track's trophy race already is a good idea. You start adding races and not racing against each other, you're only going to race once a month if that. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have to. So like we do one a month, we're going to have to probably use one of those races as that. In a points series, which I'm fine with. The only one I won't do is Shriner race because of that. Shriners race is my race and it's near and dear to my heart. I don't want anybody to have to endure the Shriner stuff if they don't want to because it's a points series. That race is a little longer and we do some stuff that raises money, and I don't want people to have to worry about all that bullshit to, make it happen if they don't want to just because it's a points deal. But any other races, I'm game. We'll figure something out if people want to work together. We for sure don't need a series that adds any more race dates. Yeah. We got enough trophy. Yeah, exactly, Ryan. 100%. 100%. We do. I agree with that 100%. I don't think we need to add any more dates. I think if guys get together to do this, they need to work with the dates they have to help that along. And there has to be a way, and I have one. I'm going to kick it around to some guys of how to get promoters to help promote the races. I think I hope this wouldn't happen, but I think I could see it happening, is if you have a guy that is a track owner and he draws a good crowd and his turnout is 150, we'll say, and his is the first race, it works out well, no problems, and then we don't go back to his track. We had 5 tracks, we'll say, and of those 5 tracks, everybody, is one and done. So you go to the next track. That first track owner still needs to help promote the series because it's his series also. We have to be all in on it. Therefore, hopefully, if the series is ran well and people are happy with it, then it continues to go up, right? Or it continues to stay level, or the 150 that are there are 130 to 170 the next time. You know what I mean? We have to continue to promote the whole series as a group. And I say we as if I'm going to be involved in this and I might spearhead it. Who knows? I've got a lot of winter that I don't race at. But that's the whole thing, right? So we all have to be invested. And a lot of times that comes down to dollars and cents. And there's a way. I've already come up with a way to do that. I'm just not going to air my dirty laundry here. Okay. I'll talk to some guys about it. Anyway, so there it is, guys. We will finish off our points series here at the Fall Brawl. You will see some big trophies walking out the door. They are in the process of being made. We also will be doing our own trophies. As always, I make all the trophies. We are continuing the theme of it's going to be a knockdown drag out for the money on the slashes. So guess what? We're going to run it. Now, one thing I can say about that is with the racing last year, we had 26 slashes. We're about 5 short from last year. The guys racing that class, and there's some of them in here, will tell you that was some of the best racing that we had last year. And it was for money. Don't fuck it up this year. Okay? Because it can be good racing and it's still for money. All right? So there's that. That's where we're at on that subject. Guys, thanks for your input again. I really feel like that is something that we really needed to talk about and get on down the road with, because there is a lot of people that don't know that is what needs to happen. I mean, they don't understand, or they don't want to ask their guys, what have you. I don't know how that doesn't work. You have to be able to talk to your guys to get it done. Morris, definitely a clean. Yes, I had definitely a clean slash race. It was. Ryan says it would be nice to do something like that we are discussing. Then the tracks get to make way more money to improve their facilities. 100%. And Ryan and Jeremy and Scuba and a couple other guys, I will be contacting some track owners for that. I know we've talked about some stuff before, and we will continue talking about some stuff because this needs to happen. We need to work as a group, no matter who you are, where you are. And guys, here's the problem that's going to run into something like that. And I don't mean to be an asshole about it, but it's going to happen. Somebody's not going to get chosen and they're going to be butthurt. Well, guess what, guys? We're all men. And if that is the case, then whoever gets chosen in the group to do it, maybe contact one of them and say, hey, how come I didn't get in, why is my track not on it this year? Well, we ran out, or, if I'm in it and I have a say, I'll tell you, because that's how transparent and straightforward I am with you. Why I didn't think it would be there. You know what I mean? I said it in the last one. There's tracks I don't want to go back to, and I'm not bagging on anybody. I'm just saying there's not only facilities, it's atmosphere, and it's the program, and it's the people. That's what it's about. And that's the tracks I don't care to go to. I mean, there's some that if I ever step foot on the property again, I'll be amazed. Okay? And a lot of it also is tracks helping each other. Tracks going to other tracks. Track people, their guys, their crew that's there every time they race a big race, and they're never at anybody else's track. You as a track owner, man, you need to encourage people, not tell them, but encourage them where to go. Hey, man, go to some other tracks and check it out. Man, there's some good tracks around here. So there's a whole lot there, man. And it can show whenever you get a guy that has, you do a series and a guy has 20 guys show up and the last track had 150. Now, that can be personal, or that can be track, or that can be whatever, but make sure it's not track. If it's a personal vendetta against somebody at a track or something, you can't do anything about that as a track owner, but as a track owner, you can definitely do something about facilities, the program, the time, but I'm not saying time is everything anymore. I think we all got on that. If there's food at the track, he'll go. Scuba's on it. Well, I'm glad you said something about that, Steve, because we will have food at the Fall Brawl. Those of you that have been hanging out on the channel here or on the Facebook a little bit, you just see it. Here's what we got coming. The GBQ will be here with food for the Fall Brawl. With that being said, the track, aka Kimson Speedway, is going to be giving every driver, everyone that signs up for a class, will be getting a free meal on us. Now, they will be held long enough, and you'll probably want more than one meal, so make sure you choose wisely. Okay? You will get one of their meals, the brat meal, the pork chop sandwich meal, the pulled pork sandwich meal. You will get one of those on the track. After that, you'll be on your own. You're going to get a voucher. Okay? That's how we do it. I've done it that way all year. I've had some guys say, well, you got a food truck. You probably shouldn't do it that way. But once I started doing it, I can't stop. So I can't stop for the last big race of the year and not have food. So we are doing that as a voucher for you guys. So we're going to literally eat the cost. Okay? Just how we do it here. All right? So that's something that makes a difference, guys, is a little thing. So we need to get something going. We need to get a facility. We need to get that happening. And let's put it this way. If this comes to fruition, then you don't get in it, then okay, start your own or figure out what you got to do to get in it. Right? Jeremy says, I think it is great to see all the guys that are regulars at other tracks come together for a big event at any track. Makes for good racing and great competition. Agreed. Rick Taylor says a full racer is a happy racer. Yeah. So that's how that's going to work, guys. I think it's going to be really good. I think that's a very good conversation to have, is if you are at a track, you are not a track owner, and you want to travel, if you are not in that mix of doing it this year and you want to be in the mix of doing it, then you travel more. More people see you. More people talk to you. More people know you come from Gibson City, BB Mods, Farmer City, Cedar, Raw, Crater, Dirt Devil, wherever. Attitude. You know what I mean? Wherever you come from. Make sure they know where you're from. I tell you what, if you come here and you're wearing somebody else's shirt, I'm seeing it. And I'm like, hell yeah. The Cedar Bluff guys are here, you know? Or I know Raw's racing the same weekend as we are this weekend on the 27th, but, you know, if you're wearing a Crater Nation shirt, Crater Nation is here. You know what I mean? So that's just what it's about. I mean, helping other tracks get things going, you know, is great. I mean, the Chili Bowl is the granddaddy of them all. We all know that, right? But the reality of it is you can have damn good racing right here in Central Illinois and Indiana. There's some really, really good racers in this area, and roll. Jake says we travel so much in the summer we don't have a home track. Yeah. Yep, I understand. Yeah, that was on purpose. But yeah, yeah, Jake, that you guys have been all over. Yeah, Paisley too. Yeah, I've seen you guys all over, and I've been around a little bit. I haven't been around as much as I probably should have been, but I kind of set out to see a bunch of tracks when I seen you guys down in Jacksonville. That's kind of where it all. A couple weeks before that, I kind of started really hitting some tracks and decided to go up to Attitude and you know, so next year I might be racing when I go to a track. I might only do heats if I don't want to stay for the mains because it's not there. But Ben says the best drivers in the area, both big and small car. I agree. I think it's the heart of all of it, to tell you the truth. So it's good, man. I'm just glad we get enough guys around, enough people to come in, and we can put on a good show with everybody. We plan on having plenty of room here. I go Monday to see if I can get the roads closed. It sounds like I might. I'm not going to say anything too much until I do. I'll put a post out of directions when I do. But there's a chance we're going to have the road closed. So if just because it's big enough, we've hit a milestone that we've wanted to hit in pre-registration, and we're about 5 drivers away from hitting another milestone that I wanted to hit. So Fall Brawl is going to be huge, man, and we're going to have a good time. It gets kind of serious at the beginning, and my driver's meeting gets a little serious for those who haven't been here. But then after that, we get it done. We will work with some kind of a controlled practice. And I think we got to do that this time. So Weasel says the more tracks you go to, the more friends you make. So you always know someone there when you go to the track by yourself. 100%. Hoof it, Rick. Hoof it. Yeah, you're right, Weasel. And you know what? We talked about it a while back. We were on here talking about it. And we went to some other tracks, and somebody on here said at some point, like me, nobody knew me. And at some point, I won't be a stranger at any track, right? Because I go to so many, and I hope that's the case. I plan on hitting a lot more. Wintertime's a little wintertime's a little different for me. There's not nearly as much options, you know. But we'll be at Limestone High Road indoor at up in Morris at Thunderdome. We're going down to Slideways I'd like to go to Brick House. So there's a whole lot of places that you can still go and race and have a good time and just see how the program works. So that's where I'm at normally anyway. PTs will be there, I guarantee it. We're taking a group down there to race. So we'll see how things work. We're going to be busy, but we're still going to take the time, I think, to go do that in the winter. I'm not going to stop this podcast just because the summer's over. We're still racing. Somebody's racing somewhere, so we're going to go. The deal that Cedar is doing over there in Delavan, the indoor deal, I will be at that race. So we've already talked about it with some other guys, and that's what the weekend, Black Friday weekend, I think it is. They're racing there that Saturday. I'll be there. I want to check that out. So even if I work, I'll just run over after work. But I don't remember. But yeah, that's just how it is. We've got to get more people getting out and seeing other tracks. And I understand, guys, I'm not good enough. Well, there's somebody at that other track that's just as good as you are. And maybe you're not going to do that. Yeah. Yeah. You ain't kidding. Trace I'm sure he'll be shuttling in golf cart, or he's going to do battery tech. Him and Ryan, the two boys, are going to do battery tech. We will be teching batteries for sure and other things, but for sure we're going to do battery tech. So, 844. So those of you have been here before, Fall Brawl we started last year. We're 844 in it again this year. So make sure your shit's on point. We'll check them early so you guys can get stuff adjusted and you'll know where you need to be. But yes, Trace will be running a shuttle, I'm sure, golf cart, smart car, if we need to. But I'll put a post out, and the alley will be open, so you'll be able to drop all your shit in the alley, drive down the alley, drive back around, and park your car in the street, because it's all street parking here. But it'll be fine. Buddy up as much as you can. So we got room. Those of you who've ever looked at the aerial of this place, it's not huge, but we'll make it happen. Promise. If you look at Google Maps, it's not correct, but Kempton Speedway is on Google Maps. But yeah, so that's what needs. We need more guys traveling. We need more guys out. We need more guys seeing other tracks, seeing other atmospheres, taking it back to your track. We talk about it almost every week, and I'll beat that horse until it's beyond dead, because that needs to happen. There's no other way about it. We need plenty of guys, more and more guys, to do more and more of that stuff. Okay? Anybody got anything on that? Are we good? Talk to me. Can I drop off my stuff on the way home from BB Mods Friday night? Yes. Guys, I'll put a post out, but you will be able to set up tents on Friday here. Friday before the Fall Brawl, you will be able to set tents up. Okay? We will be out here working. We're going to pack tighter than cheap sardines, and take a picture of us. Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, guys, we will be here Friday night for you guys to drop off. All right. And then we will also do, we're open at noon on Saturday. So we'll be here working the track, doing our stuff, and everybody's welcome to stop in, get it done, and see what the track looks like. And I'll probably change it 3 times before you guys get back. So on Saturday morning, but it's going to be busy. We will have drone. I'll have the drone up. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have the drone up. So at least drone from a way up, so we can kind of see. Maybe I get Orange Crush to run it. It used to be his. But yeah, so it's going to be big, guys, but it's going to be fun. I mean, one thing I can tell you is this: here at Kempton Speedway, we strive to have a good time. It's going to be stressful for me at times, guaranteed, but we're still going to have a good time. And as long as everybody plays well and doesn't get stupid, then we will have a great time racing, and we will have as many people, out and running as we can. And then if we get say if we get 130 or 140 cars, that's what we're going to run, and 50 or 60 drivers. Now, my request to that is your 50 or 60 drivers, make sure as some, excuse me, that you buddy up if you can. You know what I mean? Put 2 guys under a tent at least. If you know somebody that's going with you or not, or whatever, just get a couple guys under a tent. That way we can get, we only have to have 30 tents out here, or 35 tents out here instead of 75. You know what I mean? 70. So make sure if you can do that, that'd be great, just to help the size wise. So, okay. But we'll pack in here. I think we can get 25 tents in here without a problem. So I did some removing and replacing and changing. So made room for about 6 to 10 more. So that'll be good. All right, guys, we are going to flip this deal real quick. We've got our... Thanks for listening to In My Opinion. Don't forget to join us live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central on Kempton Speedway Facebook page. Catch our highlight show dropping Wednesdays on RCU Radio's YouTube, Spotify, and all major platforms. Please like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time.